Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to make a dish for you that has helped me successfully lose weight on the WW Purple Plan. It is a split pea and potato soup that is hearty, filling, vegan, and no fat. So if that interests you, stick around. We're getting into it right now. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Manya and I have lost 28 pounds on the WW Purple Plan. I also follow a predominantly whole food, plant-based diet. That means that I mostly eat whole foods, so whole unprocessed foods. I'm heavy on starches like potatoes and grains and brown rice and whole wheat pasta. And I'm predominantly vegan. I can't say I'm all the way because I still eat that fat-free Greek yogurt and some Laughing Cow cheese, but besides that, I'm pretty vegan. So today I'm gonna make for you a pea and potato soup. It's not my recipe. It comes from a YouTuber, Instagrammer named High Carb Hannah. If you're not familiar with her, check her out immediately. I'll put a link to her YouTube in the description box. She makes filling, delicious, wonderful food. And this pea and potato soup recipe is from one of her online ebook cookbooks. So I can't link to the recipe. I don't think it exists anywhere. And because that's how she makes her living, I'm not going to put the recipe in the description box. What I want you to do is to think about purchasing her ebook so that she can continue to make delicious recipes like this. But I will on the video tell you how much of everything I am using, and then I'm going to make it for you on the stove. So what I have in front of me are all of the ingredients you need for this soup. So let me show you. You start with 5 cups of vegetable broth, which I have in this, this pot. The reason it's in this pot is because I don't use vacuum-packed broth. I use this product called Better Than Bouillon, and this one's empty and needs to be washed out, but it is a concentrate. So for every 8 ounces of hot water, you dissolve 1 teaspoon of this product in the water, and it turns into a vegetable broth. So in this pot, as you can see, is now vegetable broth. So in order to make it with the concentrate, I had to make it ahead of time. Then it calls for 1 small diced onion, which I have here, 3 diced garlic cloves, and in the split pea soup is two ingredients I've never seen before in a split pea soup. One is a pound of diced yellow onions. See if I can get my camera to focus on this. Diced yellow onions. And then I'll show you of course, the split peas, which I will be rinsing in a bit. In my experience, if you rinse them too far ahead of time, they turn into this cake of split peas, so I try to do that right before I add them to the pot. And then High Carb Hannah is a very low salt, no oil chef, so she's heavy on the spices. So in this bowl, I have oregano, basil, and thyme. And then lastly, some frozen green peas. Now this is an ingredient I've never seen in a split pea soup. You swirl it in right at the end and it gives us this beautiful bright green color, and it's delicious. First time I made it, I almost left the frozen green peas out thinking they weren't necessary. I'm so glad I put them in because they are delicious. Okay, so these are all the ingredients you need for the soup. Now let's put it all together in a pot and I'll show you exactly how to make it.
Editing Manya here. I had a whole lot of problems with the recording of this soup recipe. You don't need to hear my sad story, but basically I had to get a new laptop and I had to transfer these, and I lost one clip, which was this point. In this point, I sauteed onion and garlic in a pot until translucent. That's it. I used a little olive oil. The recipe from High Carb Hannah, she's oil free, so she water sauteed, but you can choose to do whatever you want. You can even do a little spray oil if that's your preference. So that is all you missed. Sauteing the onion, adding the garlic, and then the rest of the recipe will pick up from here.
Okay, so in this pot, I have put every ingredient but one that I showed you. So I browned the 1 small onion and then added the 3 diced garlic cloves. And then on top of that was almost everything else. It was the 5 cups of vegetable broth, the 1 pound of yellow potatoes, 4 stalks of celery, and 1.5 cups of split peas, and then a tablespoon each of oregano, basil, and thyme. I brought that to a boil, and now I am simmering it for about 30 minutes. And so I'm really just trying to absorb this liquid, cook the potatoes, and cook the peas. So that would be like watching paint dry for you. So I'm gonna cut it off here, and I'll fast forward in time and bring you back when it's ready to stir in the peas. Okay, so it has been about 30 minutes, and you can see how much the soup has thickened up. It really looks like a split pea soup at this point, but here's where the magic happens with this soup. If you recall, I took some frozen green peas and I let them thaw, and then I put them into my immersion blender and I blended them up. The first time I did this, I tried to blend them from frozen and it made a big old icy mess. So my recommendation is you let the peas thaw before you blend them. You can do it in a blender. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can do it in a food processor. Any of that works. You could probably even mash them with a potato masher if that's all that you have. But you can see the color of the soup. It's green, but it's kind of a muted green. Well, here's the magic. I'm now gonna put these smashed green peas into my finished soup, and it gives it this beautiful, vibrant green color, and it makes it taste like no split pea soup I've ever had. It is delicious. You can see it's getting incorporated. It's getting in there. Let's see if I can get out the last little bits. And it's a great way just to get a little extra green into your diet without a lot of extra work. And that's it. This is High Carb Hannah's split pea and potato soup. And we'll be eating this for the next week.